wide. Here comes Kurt Busch down low. Kevin Harvick going to ease in behind Greg Biffle. Make that just double wide into the corner. Smartly so.
See Kurt Busch get a little bit loose there. I'm sure he's kind of taking it easy. Here comes Jimmy Johnson to the inside, trying to take the spot away.
We talked all the way through countdown about track position and how important it's going to be.
Tony Stewart, though, seems to be, and we hear every driver talk about how difficult it is to pass here. He is one of those drivers, though, that seems to be able to do it with his setup and his ability to make passes, get himself to own his own track position by moving forward.
Well, as crew chief Steve Addington just told us, they had to make some adjustments to make it through tech inspection, and so far, Kurt Busch is not impressed.
Absolutely nothing. Plows getting in, plows through the center. Plow's going to pick up the gas, snaps dead sideways, loose off. Got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Leader Ryan Newman has caught the tail end of the field and has gotten into some lap traffic. Right now we have pretty much a lot of single file racing back through the front of the field.
The 24 of Jeff Gordon needs to have a bounce back weekend after dropping 8 positions, now 11th in points. How is the car? Well, it depends on how Jeff Gordon drives it. Listen.
Out of my tightness, I'm just not able to carry enough speed in there to stay on the brakes. And so I'm having to come off the brakes. And then it lifts the nose. It makes me tight. When I can stay on the brakes, I'm pretty good.
Kane was as close as a car length off of Newman's back bumper, but he's lost a little ground in some of the traffic that the leaders have come up on.
A lot of it depends on where you catch this traffic and where it breaks your momentum a little bit, and that's how Casey Kane, you see him slide off of turn 4, is able to get a little bit closer to Ryan Newman. As they don't have traffic, though, Newman's a little bit better.
Jeff Gordon with a peak for second, while Dale Earnhardt Jr. picks up another spot. That's going to be 8th position on Martin Truex. Little contact here, racing around some lap traffic and racing for 4th place. Greg Biffle trying to get underneath Brian Vickers for the spot, 16 and 83.
Yeah, very difficult position right there. Getting down in the corner, see Biffle didn't give Biffle much room. Easy to lose the back end of your car right there to take both cars out.
And this is what Kurt Busch needed some adjustments to make this car better. Set up plows everywhere, no speed, center off, 4 tires, rubber in the right rear and in air pressure adjustment. Vince?
For Jeff Gordon in the 24, they're going to put a round and a half in the right rear. It's a little loose getting in and way too tight through the center toward the end of that run for Gordon. It's a full tire change for the 24.
Casey Kane, after the exchange of green flag pit stops, out in front now of Brian Vickers, Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, and the guy who led almost all the laps in the race up to the point of that pit stops, Ryan Newman, is now back in 5th.
13 seconds behind the leaders. Lost a lot of time on that race.
Out on the track, battling the 2 teammates, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. That is for 8th position.
I tell you, he's been running better and better. He qualified 12th. He's been knocking them off one by one. He's up to the 8th place right now, getting past his teammate right there. Incredible run out of Junior so far, getting past the 5-time champion Jimmy Johnson. He's got a good run. He's got the car handled well.
The caution is out. Looks like they might have been something dropped in turn 1 off of one of the cars, so debris on the racetrack.
Well, I'm not sure that wasn't maybe for some oil on the racetrack from that 36 car, because he had something definitely coming out of it.
Montoya, little wide.
Wide, they're 3 wide coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, I saw Kyle Busch make it 3 wide in the middle coming off of turn 2.
Looked like Greg Biffle slipped a little bit and stacked everything up. Kyle wasn't ready to come out of the throttle.
Casey Kane is still battling with Mark Martin, but it changed for 3rd. Rusty, the fastest guy on the track right now is Jeff Gordon, and he is in 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely. He's moved up to 3rd place past Ryan Newman. Just like you said, Nicole, he's been one of the quickest guys on the track right now. Lap after lap, he's been the fastest guy out there.
Out front right now, it's the 5 car of Mark Martin.
As they just told him a couple laps ago, 20 to go. That was on lap 122. 22 plus 20 is 42. So lap 142 should get him down here. Interestingly, Lance McGrew told me this morning it's all about track position, which we know. He said this allows you to be aggressive with your choices. Talking about the tire. The tire holds up. They can be aggressive, and they were. They stayed out.
Ryan Newman led the early stages of the race, had a hose from his front tire changer get hung on a fender on the first pit stop of the day, cost him some track position. He's recovered now to be running in fourth. Casey Kane led for a while, then under caution, Mark Martin stayed out to take the lead until just now. And you've just seen the lead change as Kane goes back to the front, with Martin approaching his pit window. Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski, David Reagan have not yet stopped. And Gordon's not going to stop this time.
Yeah, you basically lose just a little bit over a lap here. So when Jeff Gordon does make his pit stop, whatever distance he's losing to that 5 and 4, which you can see right up in front of him, then that's how much he's going to be even more behind the longer that they stay out.
Jeff Gordon has taken the lead. Casey Kane has settled in second. There are now 27 cars on the lead lap. And Dale, you talked about a while back at the beginning of the race, restarts and how the intensity is there because you got to make some ground while the field is parked up.
I didn't hit anything. 99 wrecked me. No, I didn't hit him hard. And I truly was doing everything I could to stop.
Saw the caution come out. Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards racing for 15th and 16th with Kenseth getting the worst of that. Pit road is open. Jeff Gordon, the leader, stays out. Pace cars off as we come back to the restart. Top 9 on the racetrack did not pit under this caution. 10th place Kevin Harvick is the first one off pit lane as we go green. Remember, Harvick getting just fuel only on the stop. Based on what people were telling me in the garage this morning, I expected him to be a lot closer to the front.
The track conditions are so much different today than they were in practice, so it may not have been a good gauge on what we saw in both practices.
And I can assure you, after yesterday, they thought they were going to be a lot closer to the front than this majority of the day.
Johnson back there sitting in 16th position. Hearing from pit road that Casey Kane, the second place runner, their team saying they cannot make it on one more pit stop from where they last pitted. What about Clint Boyer? They're running third, Dave.
They are, and they said this recently over the radio.
Start saving me a little bit of fuel. You have a 0.6 out the back. If we can't chase down that 4, we're going to run third here and save fuel.
Behind him, Jimmy Johnson. They're not so sure at this point about that fuel situation, and they're not so sure about their communication with each other either.
You ready? Sounds real encouraging. Come on, dude. Dude, your cheerleading's terrible. I'm going to drive my ass off. Don't sweat it. Just watch. Prove it, baby. Come on. Actually annoying instead of helping. Just let me go out and do my thing. Of course.
Jeff Gordon out in front as we close in on the 3/4 mark of this event. He's out in front by a chunk. He's opened up 2 1/3 seconds on second place, Casey Kane. Jeff Gordon out in front of this race more than anyone else so far today. He has spent about a quarter of the race out in front.
Here, they've come right back to the form that they had and what we expected to see in the chase.
Things are happening in a hurry here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As you saw in NASCAR Nonstop, new leader is that man, Clint Boyer, 2-time winner at this New Hampshire track, who squeezed his way out into the #1 spot and has brought some company with him.
All right, bud, I know you don't want to hear this. I need you to start taking care of the throttle here. The problem with the last pit stop was the exchange on the gas cans, and we struggled there a little bit. Just start easy in, let's brake, easy off. How can that 33 run so much further than us Gillis? I mean, is that right? I don't know, Kevin. We've been getting 3.8 all day long. We cannot go that far. If we'd have pitted with a 33 did, we'd run out with 8 to go. If that's the case, we need to have Senator Scully on Monday and figure out why that is, because that's not acceptable.
And remember, the 33, one of the things that they're supposed to do in this chase is help the 29 win the championship.
There's going to be
There they
more.
go. Oh, no.
That's it. Ryan Newman able to take advantage of that and go right on by, as is Kevin Harvick going to go by that. Just pinch him down a little bit.
You're freaking out of the game!
So let's get back to Boyer here for just a minute. Stopped with 74 laps to go. And we heard Dave's report a little while ago that they needed to save a little fuel, but he was racing for the lead. Given what you're seeing out of Boyer now,
I haven't seen much of an effort to save any fuel here and watching the lap times. I mean, he's done everything that he needs to do to stay in front of this group, but and even catch some of the lap cars, he's had to run really hard at times and use a lot of fuel. So I think they're going to be extremely close and maybe lucky if they make it to the end here.
All of these drivers thinking they possibly have fuel to the finish, or they possibly don't. A familiar situation in 2011 in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. For Stewart, a win would be 2 for 2 in the chase. For
3 more laps. 3 to go.
I didn't like the sound of his voice right there. It sounded like it may have stumbled on him.
That was Boyer's radio.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin looks like he's out of gas. So we've already seen one run dry. And Stewart is stalking. Report from pit road. Boyer is questioning whether he's running out of fuel. Here comes Stewart.
Yeah, there it is. He's out.
Stewart to the lead. 2 laps to go.
Now does Tony have enough fuel?
It was this race a year ago. Stewart led coming off turn 4 to the white flag. And he ran out of gas. Is it going to be different this time?
He's got a big lead. He can sit on that. He doesn't have to run very hard.
White flag is up this time. 1 lap to go.
Looks like Brad Keselowski took second away from Greg Biffle.
Final lap in New Hampshire. Watching Tony Stewart to see if he's got enough fuel to make it. The advantage he has, he's up 7 seconds on Keselowski now as other people begin to fade.
Take a drink, Brad. I got this.
Sounds like he's got plenty of fuel.
So if he was stalking him, he knew just what he was doing. 2 wins in a row to start the chase.
Way to go.
Tony Stewart wins at New Hampshire. And a Goodyear winning moment for Tony Stewart at New Hampshire Motor Speedway and Tony's team. Get that checkered flag and celebrate. Smokes on a roll.